What's up? I'm Troubleshoot, and let me show you the brand new Rust skins before we talk about what you can make with flipping them and things like that. And we'll also see them in game. Let's start off with the price of everything. Currently, as you can see, there's a ton of items, all of which are happy hoppy bunny themed. But of course, we'll have a closer look at these to see what actually matters here. A lot of these things are limited time returning items like the bunny hat, chicken costume, egg suit, and on page 2, the nest hat, prestige egg. All of these are returning from previous Rust Easters, so it's good to see these things back, but there's a couple of new additions like the horse costume added last week. Absolutely fantastic skin item, the same armor as wooden leggings, but we'll skip over these as we covered them in last week's video, and also we'll be skipping over them in game very quickly as well. This week's new limited skins include the $2 carrot combat knife, $2 chocolate bunny bow, $2 chocolate sword, $2 colorful Sweety Easter backpack, $2.50 Easter neon fridge, $2 hair trigger python, $2.50 Mr. Chick rock, $2.50 neon bunnies large wooden box, and on page 2, these are in rands for me, but the neon Easter bunny door is $2.50, the wooden rabbit door $2.50, the neon Easter garage door $2.50, and the Plush Shot SAR, this one is only $2. So there's a lot of super cheap items this week, which is a little bit out of the usual. Pretty much everything here is $2, so that's pretty good to see, but let's actually hop in game and see just how good they are. So continuing from last week, we've already covered those skins there, so I'll be skipping over these limited store returning items, but this week's new skins are, fortunately or unfortunately, ones that you're either gonna love or hate completely. Starting off at the very top for $2, the colorful Sweety backpack. As you can see, super bright, super colorful, yellow, green, orange. There's no hiding anywhere with this thing at any stage throughout the day. This thing looks like it's made out of jumping castle material. Most definitely either a hit or a miss, depending on whatever you feel like for the day, I guess. Obviously super seasonal, unfortunately, like lots of these skins, so outside of right now, if they don't have anything like a cuteness factor to pull people back, well, they might not see too much ability to keep their current value, if not more, until at least next year Easter. Then from there, the brand new default rock, I guess, the Mr. Chick rock for $2.50. The face seems to be slightly lower than the usual rock faces, especially in the inventory, which is a bit weird, but ultimately this thing is super cute and of course is functional as any other pet rock. This chick is hatching, although it'll never make its way out of here. Ultimately, a really cute skin, but of course we've seen a lot of these friendly animal type rocks in the past, and the value of which, well, we'll discuss at the end of the video. From there, it's nothing but more weapons. We got the carrot combat knife for $2. This thing is actually surprisingly good looking for what it is. Obviously, this thing may snap, impact, or it could be carved out of the toughest carrot materials, doing some serious damage to some of your enemies. Obviously, again, a hit or miss skin. If you like CS items and orange gem kind of things, well, this could suit your fancy. It is obviously a carrot, but I would assume on lower graphics levels, you're maybe not going to notice it that much. Ultimately, hit or miss. What do you think? Then from there, the chocolate sword. This thing has had a few bites taken out of it, so it's pre-used for $2. Ultimately, not that bad. I do actually like the uniqueness of the skin. There haven't been many items that were edible and already partially eaten by another player, I guess. 3 bites taken out of it, 1 on the handle, 2 on the actual blade itself, made out of this shiny copper type material, as you can see. Of course, again, you won't be seeing this at higher graphics levels, but there you go. Definitely very chocolatey, but again, unfortunately, a hit or miss. This one is at least a bit less seasonal, like the knife, compared to some of the other items that we have this week. Speaking of, the most similarly themed tool, this over here is the chocolate bunny bow for $2. You can just barely see this adorable face on the front. It's only really visible in third person, but you can see icing and melted chocolate sprinkles still in place. You might get a bit hungry just playing the game. And of course, from the backside / play side, you're not going to see too much. However, from the third person, flip around, you're likely to see quite a bit more as well. You can see the face down here. Obviously, you're not going to be close enough to see most of the skin for the most part, so take it as a brown bow with white accents, as you can see here, but at least in your heart and your teammates' hearts, you'll know that this thing is an adorable bucktooth bunny. It's got 2 teeth on this side, and well, on the other side, you can see the same 2 teeth wrapping around. Super goofy looking, definitely very cute, and of course, best of all, very tasty looking. Sorry for the camera angle there. From there, it's 2 more weapons this week. First of all, the Hare trigger python, get the joke, for $2 available, has a bunch of these gun bullets pasted across it, 100%, pretty cool. We'll get a closer look at this in just a moment. On the very back, we've got this paw print and the usual default black side with 2 dots. Those could be eyes, maybe. Not too sure, but let's have a look at it from the third person, where much more is visible. Zooming in here, you can actually see the bunny himself all the way at the very front with his smirky grin. All of these carrots are locked and loaded. He's even peeking up from down there. This, while sort of Easter themed, can definitely be used way more than that. And I could see some kind of evil bunny coming across and sticking a carrot in the front, making this thing completely banana. Ultimately, it's a really unique skin that we haven't seen too many of. I do like the look of it, but again, it might be a bit seasonal for the most part, unless you're some kind of farmer protecting your land. This also works for you. On my back, you can already see the next item, which is the Plush Shot SAR, also available for $2. This is way more cuddly looking than pretty much any of the SAR skins that we've seen before. This nice fabric material, definitely visible at higher graphics levels, maybe not at lower ones, looks so much more inviting than the usual cold steel metals we have in game. Looking down the scope, you can see this egg is hatching at the back with 3 eggs in front of it. Really, really cute. And the iron sights themselves have pink back sights in the same material and a blue front sight that we'll have a closer look at in just a moment. From the third person, you can see this gun in all of its adorableness. We've got this happy little bunny celebrating something at the bottom, I guess Easter, chocolate bunny coming out of an egg next to it, an egg basket at the front, and on the magazine, we've got this really cheerful looking bunny that I'm struggling to get the camera to focus on, but you can see him there. Super, super adorable. Really nice decals stuck on this thing all the way to the very front, where we've got what looks like some kind of candle burning, maybe, I guess, on top of some kind of cake, all the way to the front, but there's buttons and things like that stuck across the side, the front iron sight, the back, and on the back side, we've got a copy paste of the front, so I guess I could have just aimed here for a closer look. Super cute, really detailed, embroidered decals stuck all over this thing. I really like the look of this. Can't say I didn't warn you that this week was going to be hit or miss. Let's quickly move on to the placeable items, and then I'll talk about which ones glow, how they look, and things like that. The first item we have is the Neon Bunnies large box for $2.50. Fits in really well with the rest of the neon box skins that we've seen in the past. Definitely super adorable. There's bunnies, chicks, and things like that across the top, eggs, carrots, etc. Super, super themed, obviously, but if you like the neon look, then this definitely ticks probably all of the boxes that you're looking for. It'll fit really well on any kind of general neon themed base, but as with all of these skins here, you cannot escape the Easteriness of it. Then an item with cold uses, this fridge, the Easter neon fridge for $2.50, also glows in the dark, looks relatively nice during the day. I guess there's sort of green and red, maybe wires or strings connecting these different egg decals, carrots, and things like that. This skin, while it reminds me of Christmas lights, is Easter themed. I guess these are neon Easter lights. Probably makes sense. It's most definitely undoubtedly a fridge, which is good to see. And on the front, we've got a bunch of these, well, I guess maybe fridge magnets stuck across it. From the top, it's more of the same. It's very similar looking in vibes to the large box, but let's move on to the doors, for which we have surprisingly 2 doors. The first of which, the Neon Easter Bunny metal door, is this. Again, same neon type vibe, but something I do really like about it is this embossed carrot stuck where the key would be, or I guess keypad, things like that. When you actually get to building, it'll unfortunately be covered up, but it does look really cool, and I haven't seen that kind of thing on very many door skins past. It's the same on both sides, which can't be said about this wooden door. This wooden rabbit door, while used, I guess, less during wipes except for RP type bases, is much more inviting, and at least in this lighting, reminds me of Shrek for some reason. I guess it's got kind of a swampy, florally vibe to it, greeny wooden texture, but maybe that's just the time. Bringing that back up, no, it's definitely still very green. On the front, you can see these 2 bunnies looking up, and on the back side of it, we've got the stars, carrots, and this definitely looks a lot more homely than a lot of skins that we've seen, but I guess more homely in sense of you're inside of a kid's room kind of thing, or a themed house / garden shed, things like that. It'd really fit in there. But unfortunately, much like a garden shed, it's probably not going to survive to people coming and kicking it down. The final item for this week, which is also $2.50, is this over here, the Neon Easter Garage Door. This thing is definitely much more visually complex. There's so much more going on here. It's a bit too much for my taste, but maybe it's ticking all the boxes for you. Again, super neon, much like everything that we've seen this week. But if you like this opulent kind of picture frame looking outline, all of these bright lights in it, and shiny metal stars and diamonds and things like that stuck across it, well, maybe you'll like this kind of door. For me though, again, it's just a bit too busy. There's way too much going on, but during the nighttime, all of this does actually change. So let's flick over to then. It is now 10 o'clock in game, and you can see that all of these buildables actually glow quite a bit. Starting off with the box here, you can see all of these glow very nicely, reflecting off of different parts of the box. I really like this kind of 3D lighting looking effect. It looks really, really good. The fridge seems a lot more flat, but equally as glowy. There's a bit of glow bleed, I guess, coming across the front of it, though it's definitely not, in my opinion, as well done as this box. The doors that we have this week are both emissive. This one, again, also, I really like what's happening here with the embossed carrot, though again, that'll just be covered up. I think it looks really good, but again, I can only see myself using this maybe a week or two out of a year. The wooden door right next to it definitely doesn't look anything like it does during the day. This thing, again, has super swampy type vibes. I can definitely see a swamp base using this, although of course a swamp outhouse more than a base. You're not going to be protecting your major loot with a wooden door. On the back side of this, you can see these stars glowing, and this I also, again, really like. Can definitely see myself putting one of these down in a farm-based kind of thing and enjoying it, well, year round. Finally, this garage door, again, even though it's a little bit less busy than it is during the day, is still very busy, and in my opinion, just a little bit too much for me at least. You can see on this front side that the top glows a lot more than the sides, which we have seen very recently, but unlike recent skins, this has got 4 of these glowy, I guess, light bar kind of things stuck across it, although the top one is the only one that really casts light, or well, casts light. On the rest of it, it's all just texture and material trickery. It's just a bit weird that these sides aren't highlighted as bright as the top of it, but I guess maybe this gives it more of a 3D look. Doing all of it just makes it look like the whole thing is glowing rather than just certain parts of it. Anyways, now that we've seen all of this week's skins in-game, let's speak about price speculation to see if it's actually worth buying any of these, or if they'll just, well, lose their value once Easter has gone by. But before we do, keep in mind, price speculation is just looking at similar items on the market and basing some wild guesses off of that. If you're planning on buying things in hopes of selling them for a profit in the future, rust skins are definitely not always the best way to go. Purchasing skins and hoping to flip them for a profit in the future is as much gambling as anything else. I'm not any kind of financial advisor or professional in any regards. I'm just looking at previous prices of related skins and basing some wild guesses off of that. So with that out of the way, let's actually get into it. Clicking across to SCMM here, you can see all of the items from this week. We discussed all of these permanent store items in the previous video, so again, I'll be skipping over these, but we've got all of these 12 brand new items for this week at the very top. All of these, as you can see, are glowing. Let's start off with the buildables with the wooden rabbit door. Most of these are obviously not going to be coming from any kind of collection at all, so we're just going to have to look at the other skins that are available, for which wooden doors, there are 80 different skins, and as you'd expect, the wooden doors are kicked down super easily, only used for a certain bit of time, very early wipe. Most of them have lost most value, bar just a few of them that are unique for some reason or another. So yeah, the Neon Easter Garage Door is joining a really oversaturated market with 147 other garage doors here and a surprising number of streamer/Twitch drops. Most of the recent garage doors have lost 40-ish+% of their price, except for again a very specific few of them like the Witch Garage Door, Neon Bismuth, Ultramarine, things like that. Purchasing buildables, or at least doors, is usually not the safest bet for items keeping their value, as you can see based off the other ones here, but in my opinion, it's just a bit too busy. This is one that I'll be skipping this week if I happen to purchase any of them. Then the Combat Carrot Knife, much of a more year-round skin, is joining a very limited market of knife skins where there's only 13 other ones. These 2 over here, accepted in 2021, these are the only knife skins that we have, and all of the tradable ones have gone up in value value quite a bit, obviously, as the market is so small. In fact, everything here has gone up in value. The last time we got an actual knife skin that we can trade was 2020, 5 years ago. So this is quite a surprise. It's been a very long time since one of these. The last two that we received were Twitch drops for Trainwrecks and Spoon Kid, and this one, which I think came in the Abyssal DLC, or at least was recently added for it. So again, take from that as you will. There are obviously going to be a lot more people buying this than previously, 5 years ago. So the trend may change, but so far things are looking pretty good for the knife. The Neon Easter Bunny door again is joining a hugely saturated market with over 241 other single sheet metal door skins. There's tons of these things available, tons of them bought and tons of them trading. A lot of them, again, have lost a lot of their value. Only a certain few of these going up price. The Ultramarine door, for example, this one we won't even count. The Neon Bismuth door, B-Metal door, and that's pretty much that, at least for, well, 2024. So yeah, there's a very long time that goes between doors actually being profitable or even holding their value, so it's not looking too good for this. The Easter Neon fridge, again, fridges have only very recently started getting a reason for use in that food is spoiling, so the market, of course, has grown, the need for fridges as well, so people are picking up fridge skins, especially because they haven't bought so many before. A lot of these are Twitch drops. All of the earlier ones have gained quite a bit of value, but in recent years, again, most of them gaining value up until this year. Some of these have been losing value, but they seem to be really out there skins like the Death Metal fridge, Lovely Balloon card. In my opinion, it's probably going to be more to those as it's a themed event, but again, who knows, the sample size of, well, I guess 7 is very small to pull from. The Mr. Chick rock is joining 66 other rock skins. All of the animal themed rocks have lost most of their value, which is sad to see. I absolutely adore the Harbor Seal rock, and that's the only one that's gone up in price since 2024 when it was added. Everything else here has lost value. 2023, most of these except for the pug, hamster, maybe. It definitely hasn't been looking too good for the rock market, even though you spawn with these things by default, and it definitely doesn't look too good for rocks with faces and things like that. Then the colorful Sweety Easter backpack joins 18 other backpacks. All of these, except for, again, just a handful of them, have lost most of their value. The only ones that have gained value here, surprisingly, are the Heart Collector backpack, I guess because it's so pink, the themed backpacks like the Nomad backpack and Arctic backpack, which is surprising because the large hazmat backpack lost a lot of its value, Ultramarine, which the entire set has been doing really well, and finally the Bombshell backpack as well. This one doesn't really fit in with any category that we've seen before, except for maybe the Christmas themed backpacks, which we had over here, which didn't go too well. Maybe these will go up in price this Christmas, but who knows? Ultimately, I don't think it's going to do too well. The Hare Trigger Python joins 75 other pythons, and pretty much all of them have lost value, so it's probably a safe bet to say that this one is going to be no different. I do really like the look of it, so this is definitely one that I'll be purchasing pretty much no matter what, but that's just my opinion. Who knows where it's going in the future? I'll be playing with it, so I'll be purchasing it. The Plush Shot SAR is definitely a more unique skin in that it's made out of a fluffy material versus these cold hard other weapons. Most of them have lost value, so I don't really know if the unique material choice is going to make too much of a difference when it comes to the price of it, but it does sort of put it apart from the rest of these, even though it is just another SAR skin. The Chocolate Bunny Bow brings the total number of bow skins up to 71. There's no glowing effect or anything like that on it, but it seems like pretty much all of the bow skins, except for much older ones, have lost a lot of their value, which is sad to see, but I don't see this change anytime soon, but I could always be wrong. Finally, the Chocolate Sword, probably the most unique sword skin that we've seen. I definitely do love the way that this thing looks, but I guess the market it doesn't really love sword skins, except for the much older ones. 2017, 18, 19, 20 was the last profitable sword. The rest of these have lost a lot, if not most of their value, which is sad to see. So while it is probably doomed to follow the trend, it may break it being a more unique skin and a more tasty one at that. And with that, we've covered all of this week's brand new skins. So hopefully you found this video entertaining. And of course, now you have a better idea should you actually purchase any of these skins. Do let me know what you think down below and what you'll be picking up. I'll definitely be purchasing the knife, the python. But besides that, a lot of these skins are just too themed for me, at least compared to last week's Easter theme. So I think my money will be rather safe this week. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Mine has been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.